the Black Lives Matter protests erupting across the world, statues are falling one after another from Colston to Churchill to Columbus. There's been a renewed call to remove colonial statues and symbols. An Oxford University college has now said that it wants to remove a statue of 19th century colonialist Cecil Rhodes. The move comes less than 2 weeks after protests to take down the statue. The college will also set up an independent inquiry into the issues surrounding the statue. Oriel College has been under pressure for several years from the #RhodesMustFall campaign. Many believe that the statue glorifies racism and is an insult to black students. Rhodes has been a central figure in Britain's colonial history in southern Africa, and he has been known for implementing racial segregation measures that paved the way for apartheid. Protesters are also calling for changes to the famous Rhodes Scholarship. This scholarship has allowed students from around the world to study at Oxford, including former US President Bill Clinton. But even with calls for removal of colonial statues, workers have now removed the protective hoarding around the statue of Winston Churchill. The statue was the target of a recent Black Lives Matter protest in London. Protesters defaced the statue, writing Churchill was a racist. The statue was later controversially boxed up to prevent further damage. London authorities have maintained that the removal of protective cover is linked to Macron's upcoming visit to the UK. Meanwhile, in Bristol, restoration work on the statue of the 17th century English slave trader Edward Colston has now begun. Colston's statue will be displayed along with Black Lives Matter placards in a museum to portray a better understanding of Britain's racial history. The toppling of the statue by protesters during a Black Lives Matter demonstration triggered the debate about Britain's imperial past. In the United States, a statue of Christopher Columbus was recently removed from a park in Missouri. This is the latest statue to be taken down in response to the nationwide protests over racial discrimination. Several Columbus statues have been at the center of protests across the country.